Back our money men, business and markets analyst and NewsMax contributor Seth Denson and America's accountant Dan Geltrude. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us again. First, we're going to start with Thursday's markets. The last barometer we have, the Dow Jones inches back up to 36,000 mark, ending Thursday up by more than 196 points. The Nasdaq and S&P also landing in positive territory. And as we've been telling you, air travellers slammed this holiday, with more carriers cancelling flights straight through the weekend as they deal with staffing issues. Nearly 1,000 flights were scrapped yesterday, with even more cancellations on tap for today. Now, Seth, just when it seemed the skies were friendly again, this happens. Will airlines ever fully recover? Because it doesn't seem like it to me.
Yeah, listen, Sarah, it's a great question. They will. The question is when. And I don't know that 2022 is the year, although analysts are currently predicting that losses will drop by 78%. Now, that still means the global airline industry will lose $12 billion in 2022 if those numbers hold true. But a lot of this is going to hinge on variance. It's going to hinge on Americans being able to feel comfortable getting back out. And quite frankly, I think it's going to hinge on these masks. A lot of Americans are not flying. They just don't want to put on those masks.
No one wants to put on those masks, whether you're getting on a flight or going anywhere, to be perfectly honest. Now, Amazon is reaching a settlement with the National Labour Relations Board, making it easier for employees to organise at work. The moving comes as more workers push to be unionised, rather. Now, Dan, under the deal, Amazon will notify current and past warehouse staffs of their right to organise in its buildings and allow the NLRB to quickly hold the company accountable should it violate the rules. Do you think Amazon is going to behave here?
Yes, I do, and I think it would be in their best interest to do that. Look, Amazon does not want their workers to ultimately unionize. There was already a situation where there was a failed attempt to unionize, and I'm sure Amazon was happy about that. But from a worker's perspective, they will unionize unless they believe that's not a better deal. And the reason they'll believe it's not a better deal is because they are being treated more than fairly without having to unionize. So I think Amazon is in a position where they have to be mindful of employee benefits and salaries and so on to make them feel comfortable that the union path is not the right one for them.
Okay, now, gentlemen, pancakes are flying at Blackstone. The griddle maker is set to go public in a $780 million deal. Blackstone joining other outdoor cooking brands making the move during the pandemic. Now, Seth, Americans love to grill, and the pandemic made DIY cooking from coast to coast. Now, do you think other brands are going to follow here?
You know, Sarah, it's hard to tell, and they probably ought to watch and see. Listen, I'm a big griller. I grilled a lot this past weekend, thanks to the Bassett family for some great steaks they sent me for Christmas. We really enjoyed those. But here's the reality. Sometimes going public isn't always the best deal. Traeger, for example, which I'm a big fan of, I've got a Traeger, that's what I cook on. They listed under the name Cook. Earlier this year, they've already lost half their value. So, listen, let's see what Blackstone does, but it'll be important for a lot of these other, we'll call it up-and-comers in the market, to really look and see, are these waters worth dipping into?
All right, we're going to move on to electric vehicles now, because they've been moving down the highway big time in 2021. And we're not expecting them to slow down in 2022 either. Now, Tesla already struggling to keep up with demand. Others are joining the EV game, including Ford, Volkswagen and Toyota, now all planning to unlock a wave of new models next year and beyond. Now, Dan, are cars powered by gas truly on the way out here?
Not anytime soon, Sarah. We have to put things in perspective. Yes, the trend is that more and more electric vehicles are being sold. But let's keep in mind that less than 1% of the cars on the road right now are electric vehicles. So there's a long way to go before gas vehicles are on the way out. Now, I think in order for electric vehicles to ultimately be dominant in the marketplace, they got to address three issues. The first thing is the price. These cars are not cheap. Second, charging stations, because when you're running low, you got to be able to stop somewhere and, quote unquote, fill up, and it takes too long a period of time. And the third thing is these batteries need to last longer. People don't want to drive in fear of they're going to run out of battery power. When those things happen, electric vehicles rather, will dominate the marketplace.
All right. Okay, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. That's our Money Men here with us, but we have plenty more to cover on Wake Up America.